Today I'm going to be attempting to redesign different roller coaster logos, and I'm not an artist, so let's see how this goes. I'll be starting with the vampire logo, which is on the screen now. I think it's supposed to represent a bat or something like that, so that is what I'm going to be attempting to draw. I tried to keep some of the shaping from like the edges of the logo on the bat to make it look a bit closer to the logo than, it probably will. And here we go, designing the body of it and the legs shaping. And also adding in the eyes and the mouth, giving it a nice smiley face, because it's such a happy bat. And legs now. And I can't draw animals, so I've done the most odd looking legs ever for this. Yeah, just look at those. What is that? And I do add the actual vampire logo into the middle of the bat so you can kind of tell what it's meant to be like, to an extent, I guess. And now I go through and add some colour to it, Gotta make it somewhat look nice. I think I do go through and shade it so the bat does look more like a bat than it currently does. I also make the eyes red, which over the pencil doesn't really work, so that went well. So far that's what the bat's looking like. And now I go through and add in some details to those wings to make the bat somewhat look good and define them, adding some little details to it. And now I go through the painful process of attempting to make the bat look kind of furry, which, it somewhat works. Not very well, but it looks better. So that's what we like to see. I've just spread that out because it did take quite a while to shade in the whole thing. And there you go, that's the body of the bat done. I go through now and shade in the little edge on the wings to make it stand out a bit more. Here I am just shading that in, trying to make it somewhat look good. And now I just add that little furry effect to the legs of the bat. And that should be me done in a second. I think I go through and make that logo a little bit bolder. And this is the finished design of the bat. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out and probably could have gone worse. I'll next be attempting to redesign the Saw the Ride logo. The Saw the Ride logo's a bit basic, with it really just being some text, but it does have a blood look to it, which is quite cool, I guess. And if you've ridden this, you know it is painful. Your head just bashes from side to side. I decided to make this logo best symbolize this ride. I now go through and give the logo a bit of shape to it. Like I said, this is going to describe the ride perfectly, and I now go through and shade that. In the middle of the logo, you can see that I put Saw instead of Saw, because, the ride's really painful. Such a comedian, guys. Here I am, just finishing off the shading of it, and I now will be able to finish the rest of the logo. You could probably take a guess at what it's going to be. And I now add in some of the details. I feel like you could probably definitely tell what this is. The logo now is almost done, and I'm probably getting some colours, here we are, to make those buttons just look a bit nicer with the orange, and I think I also do blue for the other one. Yeah, it's blue. And I now go through and add a handle to that door, yep, here. And if you haven't guessed what it is already, it is a washing machine, because, the ride's like a washing machine as you spin around and hit your head a bunch. such a great design for the logo, isn't it? I now go through and make that text look a bit bolder so it stands out. And there you have it, the best Saw the Ride logo you're ever gonna see. Next up, I am actually gonna try this time, and I'm going to do the Oblivion logo. The Oblivion logo is this orange arrow pointing down with the Oblivion text in the middle, which is quite cool, but it's not very detailed. So I decided to go through and add the track with the drop and the hole in the middle of the logo to somewhat make it look good. And as you can see here, I'm attempting to draw the drop of Oblivion, and it's not going the greatest, to be honest. Here I go now, trying to draw the actual train of it, and I tried to give it a somewhat 3D effect to it. It doesn't look amazing, to be honest. And I know there's not the correct amount of seats on it, but I can't really fit them all in, so this will have to do. Here I am, just making those lines a bit bolder and neater, so it actually does look somewhat good. And now I'm drawing the hole that Oblivion actually goes into with the logo, which I'm now doing, the actual Oblivion logo that is, to the back of it. Oblivion's got that like square before the arrow, which I do, but it kind of looks a bit stretched out, so it's not amazing. And then here I am making the actual arrow bit to it on the bottom here, making those lines just a bit bolder and neater, making the, as on the actual Oblivion logo, the like square, it's kind of got like a little hole in the middle of it, so I do that. And now I've got to shade the whole thing in. And that is the track done. And I'll go through and do the hole in a black pen to make it look more ominous and a lot darker, so it looks like you're going into the abyss. And I'll go through and outline the rest of it to make it look a bit more bold and a lot nicer than it did before. I also outline the cart so it's, as well stands out and looks neater, because the pencil doesn't look amazing, to be honest. Here we are, finally adding that colour with the nice orange of it filling in the actual logo here. And that is the logo fully coloured in. I also then outline the track to make it seem a bit more complete. And here I add the orange to the train, which I know the trains aren't fully orange, but it was just easier to do like this. Same with the seats. I know they're not fully orange, but it just looks nice and is easier to do. I also then outline the seats so they look a bit more like seats than orange blobs. Then go through with that pen and do a little bit of work to the track of it, and I kind of messed it up here and it does look a bit odd. I then did attempt to fix that mistake by shading it in, but I mean, that's basically it done after that. So here you go, that's my attempt at redesigning different logos. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe.